Hello.
Hey, welcome.
This is Tale of Two Dead Girls. I'm Kayla.
I'm Kayla.
And this is our Morbid mini number 4.
Quattro number 4. Yay. Can you believe? 2 months. This is our 2-month anniversary, guys. You made it with us.
Well, actually, it's not really 2 months yet. 2 months will be on the 3rd of
True, but we're
April.
celebrating early. So,
yes.
Send us gifts.
Yeah.
We'll accept it. Or a review. Shoot us a review. Even better.
Oh yeah, we would definitely love that. So do that. Totally do that. I was gonna say something and I forgot. Oh yeah, this is our sleep paralysis episode part 2. We got a bunch of emails from people with sleep paralysis experiences. So we were like, we should do a part 2. And so that's what we're doing.
Backed by popular demand. You guys loved the sleep paralysis stuff.
Yeah, so thanks so much to everyone who emailed us. We're so excited to share your stories. And sleep paralysis is freaking scary. Like, your guys' stories are freaky.
It's true. It is scary. Like, I don't even want to sleep sometimes. Like,
oh. Can I share?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so before we get into these stories, I am going to share what happened to me the other night. It wasn't sleep paralysis, but it was something called a false awakening.
Ooh.
And I've had this 2 times before, and I already have talked about it on this podcast. I'm not sure which episode. It might have been a Morbid, like the first Morbid mini episode.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, where I was talking about dreams.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what they were called. I thought they were just nightmares, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I had something similar like 2 or 3 nights ago, and ever since then, I have not gone to sleep in darkness. I've had my TV on. Like, I'm still scared to go to sleep. Okay, so anyways, what had happened 2 or 3 nights ago, I forgot.
It was on Tuesday night. No, Monday night.
Oh, it was Monday night because I had my new job. I was starting my new job the next day, so I had to go to sleep early. With my new job, I have to wake up at like freaking 4:45.
I wonder if
in
that's
the morning.
like what caused it. Like your body's like already on edge, and then your brain's like, "Guess what? We're gonna give you this too."
Okay, so yeah, that might have been it. I don't know. But anyways, what happened? I went to bed around 9 or 10, and I have this nightmare. And in the nightmare, I'm sleeping in my bed, and I wake up. And I look around. I'm like very tired. It's dark in my room. My eyes are squinty because, you know, I'm tired. And my room looks exactly the way it is, like, you know, in real life.
Yeah.
And I turn on the TV, and usually when I turn on my TV, the YouTube thing pops up because I watch YouTube on my TV all the time. And I look at it all squinty-eyed, and in the recommendations, there's, in each video, it's like someone levitating off their bed.
What?
And
I've heard the story. I'm acting fake surprised so you guys can have the full effect.
Also, when I called her this night, and I was like, she was like drunk too, so who knows if she remembers any of this.
I was like really drunk. I remember parts of it.
Yeah, okay. So, yes, there's people levitating. And if you guys didn't know, I am absolutely terrified of that kind of thing, of anything demonic, any sort of possession things. Like, that's the one thing where I draw the line.
Same.
I'm very, very scared. And so seeing that really terrified me in my dream. But the weird thing is, in every single like caption, it said angelic levitation.
What?
So it was like, what the heck? Like, that's so weird. And then on the 3rd video, it had like the scene from The Exorcist of her levitating. Yeah, I hate that. That's my fucking worst movie ever.
Same.
Oh god, I hate it. It scares the shit out of me.
That's the scariest movie ever made. Quote
Honestly,
me on that.
it is. It is. So I see that and I'm trying to like type in this artist called Blackmill, and it's like a melodic dubstep thing that I would listen to at night. It's like part of my nighttime playlist.
Yeah.
And I'll try to type it in, but I can see it typing, but I could also still see like the levitation thing, and I couldn't get away from it. And so all of a sudden I start noticing like my face is facing the ceiling and I'm starting to get closer to my ceiling, and I can feel
No.
my body going up and like getting closer to the ceiling. I could feel myself levitating, and like my feet were like kind of like hanging down more, and I'm like getting so freaked out, and then I go back to my bed and I go under my covers, and I remember like praying under my covers, you know, and
Yeah.
then I peek my head out. I don't remember. I might have fallen back asleep in my dream and then woken up again. I don't remember, but I come out from under the covers, and in my room it's still dark, and I turn to where my closet is, and my closet is just like a big open thing. There's no door, there's no curtain, there's no nothing. It's open so I can see all my clothes. And on the floor there is a life-sized doll of the Exorcist in the white gown, just laying there, head facing up and everything. And I freak the fuck out. I pick it up. I go outside my room, walk through the hallway to the living room. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Okay, so before I finish that part, I fell asleep hearing the living room TV on because my mom was in there watching TV. And by the time I was having this dream, she was asleep in her bed in her room. So the TV was off. It was dark in the living room. Everything, nobody was in there because I woke up around 12 a.m.
Yeah.
And so I take the doll to the living room, and I'm holding the doll like close to me, and I'm waking my mom up because in the dream, she had fallen asleep in the living room on the couch. And, I'm like tapping on her. I'm like, mom, this was in my room. This was in my room. And she was like, it was mine. Ha 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 ha. But I think she was just saying that to like not scare me, but she was being really, really creepy. And then I wake up and I'm terrified. I am sweating. My heart is beating fast. I'm like under my covers. I'm terrified to look around my room because
Who knows what that was?
everything was identical, and it was just so scary that it was in my room, in my home that I feel comfortable in. And I was like, why am I having these like freaking demonic dreams, you know? And it was just so scary to see everything the way it happened. Like, it felt so real. I called my friend because I knew he was going to be awake, and I was literally crying to him on the phone because I was so scared. And then I called Kayla, and then she was drunk, so it kind of made me feel better. But yeah, that's my. Oh yeah, and then I looked it up, Googled it. Some people said it was like the beginning stages of the blah blah blah, the beginning stages of lucid dreaming.
Okay.
But then I also saw that it was a false awakening, which I did more research on false awakenings, and it seemed like it was more like a false awakening. And yeah, it was really scary, and I am still scared and not going to go to sleep without the TV on.
What is a false awakening?
So a false awakening, you know what? Let me look it up again, like the actual definition.
Yeah.
Definition.
Google Def, baby.
Okay, a false awakening is a vivid and convincing dream about awakening from sleep, while the dreamer in reality continues to sleep. False awakenings, mainly those in which one dreams that they have awoken from a sleep that featured dreams, take on aspects of a double dream or a dream. What?
You said take on an ass.
Take on an aspects. Wait, this doesn't even look right. I don't know what I'm saying.
What is this telling us?
It literally says take on aspects. Oh, takes on aspects? Yes. What was I saying? I don't know what's happening.
We're firing ourselves.
Take on aspects of a double dream or a dream within a dream. So that's what the Wikipedia definition says. But yeah, I don't know. You guys should go look it up if you're interested. I actually found some really creepy stories on YouTube about like false awakenings. There's also a short horror film on it, so you guys should go check that out too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
get on that dream research.
Yeah, it's really, really, really interesting.
I
Also very
agree.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah. I have a bunch of dream books.
You should bring them when you come to California so I can see them.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to California.
Yes, she is. But yeah, with that being said, we with the nightmare and stuff, I guess it's only
Right?
right to jump on into our stories. And since I was talking so much, I think Michaela should go first.
Here I go. So the first one is from, I just want to make sure they don't want to be anonymous because I don't read these. So their name is Joseph. Joseph says, when I was younger, my friend David threw a little party at his house. So I ended up staying the night at his place. When I fell asleep, I woke up in sleep paralysis, but with this little girl standing in front of me. I can still picture her hair and dress, even her shoes, but her face, I can't see it. I was never able to. It was kind of static and fuzzy, but her eyes. They were all white, but I felt her staring into my eyes. I was stuck like this for 5 minutes or so. I closed my eyes as tight as I could and just tried to get my breathing calm. After eventually doing this, I asked him if anyone else was here. He told me no and asked me who I saw. When I told him, he told me about the same little girl he has seen his whole life growing up in that house, and that I was the first person to ever see her too. Never slept over again.
Ew. Okay,
I
wait.
love
What if
it.
that wasn't sleep paralysis, though? What if that was just
A
like an actual
ghost.
ghost that he
I
saw?
don't know, but whatever it is, I love it. Well, maybe it's like a middle, like both, but that's like so cool. Like, how cool is that your friend sees it too, and you're like, wow, I'm not crazy.
That's so freaky. Like, just to see the white eyes. Oh,
Oh my
God.
god. And
No.
you can't move. You can't like that's my worst fear is like I can't scream, I can't move, I can't get away. Like I'm trapped.
That's so terrifying.
Yeah.
So sorry you had to go through that, Joseph.
But thank you
hope
for our
you're
benefit.
okay. Yes, thanks. It was a good
It's
story.
true. I loved it. Thank you for writing in. Your turn.
All right. So here I go. Let's see here. Brandon, this is a friend of mine.
Love the
His
name.
name, yeah, Brandon. I don't remember how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna try Kuistra.
Kuistra.
I
Kuistra.
don't know. Sorry, Brandon. All right.
We
So,
tried.
hey there. So I saw that you ladies were making a Morbid mini and asked us to send in our own experiences. To be honest, my experience is still something I constantly think about, that it had inspired one of my favorite tattoos,
Ooh.
as well as a tribute to Fireworks, which is a band.
Yeah.
All right. So my dad lives in a pretty nice house in, fuck, I don't know what this says. Japatul Valley in Alpine, California. It's on a big property and it's gorgeous, especially when it rains.
Ooh.
We moved in around January 2016, and after a few months, my dad started to notice some things. One night, my dad had fallen asleep on the couch in the living room. We still hadn't gotten the hang of the place and set up, so we still hadn't got the hang of the place and set up, so most of the downstairs was open space. But around midnight, my dad woke up and every single light downstairs had been turned on, including the empty living room and the open dining area. I
No.
wasn't home when this occurred, but still to this day, my dad swears to it. Another time, I had arrived home to find broken glasses and the shelf above the stove to have given out as my dad was cooking. So weird things had happened around the house, and over time it found its way to me. One night I remember waking up as if the hair on the back of my neck suddenly rose.
Oh,
the air in my lungs felt like it was being pressed out of my chest as my blanket slowly tightened around my body. No. There it was, as if it had stepped out of the shadows, standing taller than my doorway with horns that wrapped backwards around its head. There was no sound. The only audible noise was the blood rushing through my veins and the immense pressure in the air around me. I remember wanting to yell out, to bring attention to this thing standing before me. This was my first time feeling true fear, so I closed my eyes and waited for whatever was to come next. The sun rose and woke me to that following morning, but the house never felt the same again. The sage that the sage that I had received from a friend suddenly vanished after that night. The fear
Whoa.
had settled in me, and I knew that the experience wouldn't ever leave. The tall, dark shadow that brought down such intense pressure with just its presence. It would always reside in my memory.
Damn. Show us the tatty.
Yeah, send us a picture. Wait, actually, I could just probably go to your Instagram and go look
Find
at
it.
it.
Honestly, I just if I want to be like Joseph and have something happen to me at somebody else's house, so I get to go home back to my safe house without ghost presences,
Same.
Peace out, have a good time here. But
yeah, that was pretty spooky.
Yeah, cool. My turn. Next up is our boy Gabe.
Yes.
It goes like this. I saw this post and thought I'd tell you what I experienced. Love it. Short and sweet. This happened back in 2014. I remember it too because I was trying to lucid dream and I had been looking up a bunch of online articles on how to do it. The one that finally worked said to imagine myself sitting upright before I slip into a deep sleep. I tried it 4 nights in a row before it finally worked. I remember seeing the streetlights in the parking lot of my apartment complex creeping through the cracks. I felt so at ease. I was looking around and tried to get up, but I couldn't move. I remember seeing this dark shadow figure come out of my closet and move next to my mattress. It was the color of black that was just so dark that every bit of light was sucked into the black hole and just disappeared. It was a tall shadow figure with what seemed to be a hat. I was calm up until it leaned in closer to me. It didn't feel right at all that this shadow figure was staring at me. It started giving me chills. Oh my god. Okay, let's just say, sleep paralysis, a common theme is this figure, is this thing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, I read that it's common to see a lady, I think a lady in white, or I don't know if she's wearing a certain
you said
thing,
that.
but
You
it's
said that.
it's common to see a lady in the corner of your room or something.
I want to look more into
scary.
this shadow figure type energy. That is interesting to me.
You should, and then come back to us about it on our next episode.
I'll update you. Yeah. All right. So this shadow figure right in his face, what felt like an eternity of this thing just looking at me panic even more. Oh, I skipped a sentence. It just stared at me with what seemed to be red glowing eyes that pierced my fucking soul. What felt like an eternity of this thing just looking at me panic more. I never experienced such helplessness in my entire life. Then I finally forced myself up, covered in a cold sweat and just drenched. I don't even know how because I kept my apartment at a constant 68 degrees.
Oh shit.
That's some American Psycho shit. I didn't know what the fuck had just happened and I never tried to lucid dream again.
Fuck.
Wow. That is I just don't come to my house. Don't come to my dreams.
Stay the fuck away.
Please.
All right. So we got one from, her name is Kayla, spelled with a C.
Whoa. Welcome. Welcome to the club.
Hi, Kayla. I'm Kayla, too. I hope your name is Kayla, and it's not Sayla or something. I don't know. Anyways. Hi, girls. Big old pink heart.
Aww.
I've had only one occurrence of sleep paralysis, so I'll tell you about that. My one and only account is from when I was maybe 12 or 13. I've always been afraid of the dark, and when I was younger, I would pretend to fall asleep in my bed, then wait for my parents to fall asleep and crawl into bed with them. As I got older and larger, this became less feasible, so I took to making a makeshift bed on the floor by my mom's side of the bed. One night, I'd made my usual bed on the floor and had fallen asleep. My parents' bedroom door was open as to better hear my baby brother in the next room over, and I woke up to what I thought was my brother fussing. I was lying on my side, and I opened my eyes. The door and the hallway connected were immediately within my eyesight. I saw a shape on the floor at the end of the hallway, and as I squinted at it, I saw hands reach out and watched it start to pull itself towards me. It had lots of black hair covering its face, clawed hands, and jerky movements. Ew! Oh my god, this just reminds me of the fucking Ring. I tried to scream as it crawled towards me, but I couldn't make a sound. I tried to move, but felt as though my blanket was wrapped so tightly around me that I was unable to. I watched it get closer and closer. The fear was electrifying, but still
Scary.
paralyzing. It's hard to explain what happened next. To put it simply, I think that I got myself so worked up that I finally snapped out of sleep paralysis, and the figure was gone.
Whoa.
I ended up waking my mom up that night and asking her to move over so I could sleep next to her, and even my 26-year-old self doesn't blame my 12-year-old self for that. Would probably do the same today. Thankfully, dog, stop barking.
You know better.
Come on now. Thankfully, that was my only episode of what I suspect was sleep paralysis.
Yikes.
That's honestly really scary. All right. My ex of 5 years had such constant sleep paralysis that he had to go to the doctor for it. If he fell asleep at home alone, myself or his mom would often find him in a state of paralysis and had to shake him out of his sleep. I got so accustomed to the slight movements he would make when he got SP, sleep paralysis, throughout the night.
Love it.
Think if someone was tied head to toe in a rope, it was kind of a slight struggle that he was trying to wiggle out of the rope, that I would wake up, shake him, wait for him to gasp or roll over, then go back to sleep. He had Willow, stop interrupting me. Okay. He had hallucinations pretty consistent along with his sleep paralysis. There were repeating ones as well. His most common was that he was napping and gets sleep paralysis and can't move, and he hallucinated either myself or his mom would look at him, get closer, and make sure he really couldn't move, then start to move a pillow over his head, obstructing his vision and suffocating him. He said it felt so real every time, and it was scary enough that he would wake up startled and disoriented, and his eyes bloodshot red. Some more common ones were that the room would slowly fill with tall, shadowy figures. Sometimes he would hear whooshing wind and hear a voice saying, "I'm not letting you go."
Whoa.
That one was the creepiest to give me, given some of the lore behind sleep paralysis. Once he started using medicinal marijuana,
shout out.
The effects of his sleep paralysis lessened. It went down to maybe once a month when before it had been 2 to 3 times a week. And we both got more restful sleep, read as less horrifying. Wait, what? Yeah. Anyways, I hope this was all. Shit. Why can't I read anything right? Anyways, I hope this was at all useful. Yes, it was definitely useful. Thank you for writing to us. That shit is scary as fuck.
That's crazy. Okay, honestly, that is like really interesting that all of his stuff like went away pretty much when he started using medicinal marijuana, because when I was younger, I used to have nightmares every single night, and now that I live on my own and smoke weed like every single night, I never have nightmares. Like very occasionally, but it's like way less.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Like I'd never even thought of that connection before.
I had that like false awakening nightmare after I took CBD before I went to sleep.
I think like that must have been like work stress, because like every single time I start a new job, I have nightmares about it for like a week. It's just like,
yeah, but this was like a false awakening.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it wasn't just like a nightmare.
It's like more extreme, you know, like a more extreme level of stress.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Okay, your turn.
So, here we go. This one's from Tiffany. Hi there, my friend Kara. Kara, I just want to say, take a moment here. Kara is the best. I love her. She's been our cheerleader and she's great. Anyways,
yay!
My friend Kara reached out to me and said, you ladies are hosts of a podcast and you are doing a session on sleep paralysis. As a victim, not to be dramatic or anything, lol, of sleep paralysis, I have a story I would like to share. I used to get sleep paralysis pretty often, although lately I luckily haven't experienced any episodes. I'm not quite sure what brings on these episodes, but I've learned that falling asleep on your side helps. So that might be why I haven't had any episodes recently. You said that too. I saw you post that.
Yeah, I saw someone post that on Twitter and I was like, oh my god, it was like right after I had that nightmare too.
That's so weird.
She's like, I'm going to sleep on my side.
That must be like, I also sleep on my side a lot now, so interesting. Anyways, however, when I do get sleep paralysis, it's honestly one of the scariest things ever. People tell me about their experiences and they're just like, oh, I can't move. And I'm like, that's cute. I see shadow figures that resemble people. I hear inaudible whispering, and these people, like shadow figures, can touch me. Straight up demonic shit. Ah!
No.
This is gonna be good.
I don't fuck with that. I'm scared.
Also, I just want to comment, this like punctuation, I'm like living for it. Thank you for doing this. It makes my life so much better. Anyways, one episode in particular will stick with me forever, and this one is the one that I always tell people about when the topic of sleep paralysis comes up. We had a family visiting from out of town about 6 years ago, and having a queen-size bed in my room with a bathroom, my room always became the guest room whenever we had visitors. At the time, my brother had a bunk bed in his room, so I slept on the top bunk while my aunt and uncle slept in my room. I had fallen asleep around midnight and woke up a few hours later on my back, unable to move. In my mind, I was like, okay, here we go again. You're gonna be fine. And then I heard footsteps coming down the hallway and whispering. But I assumed it was one of my cousins getting up to use the bathroom, which is right by my brother's room. The footsteps and whispering are now in my brother's room. When I look towards the doorway, I didn't see anything. I see footsteps and whispering at the foot of the bunk bed, and then on the left side, where all of the sudden it stops and everything is silent. After what felt like a few minutes, it was probably only a few seconds, a hand shoots through the railing of the top bunk and grabs a hold of my leg. Adrenaline kicks in,
Fuck.
and I was able to wake myself up, obviously in panic. I had to go check the time, and it was exactly 3 a.m. Double whammy. I've seen way too many scary movies that have freaked me out beyond belief about waking up falling asleep at 3 a.m. So you can only imagine how terrified I was. So that's pretty much my story. I've had countless experiences before, but that was probably one of the most terrifying moments of my life. I'm very interested in listening to your podcast. Which platform are you guys on so I can tune in? Hopefully my story makes it on. Well, it's your lucky day. And we're on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast.
Everything,
yeah,
pretty much.
Castbox, Spotify.
If you just look us up on whatever you use, you'll probably find us.
We're on it all.
Yeah, you'll probably find us. But yeah, iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff. That was a good one. That was a really good one. I was actually following along, and I agree with that punctuation. It's very good.
Like, I love this punctuation. You're doing great. Like, me, I'm that picture of Kris Kardashian. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Thank you for the work that you're putting in.
That is so funny.
But seriously, like,
that was a really good
hearing
one.
things down the hallway. My grandma has like a house, like a big house with a giant it's like a long hallway, and it's like tile, so you can hear everything. And I always felt like some weird kind of, I don't know, I always felt a presence there, but my grandma says that she doesn't feel anything, but I would always be scared of the hallway. Like, it's just a weird vibe. But yeah.
Okay, so we have one last one. This is from Nicole, and here's her email. I have experienced sleep paralysis all my life. Some are more vivid than others. When I was younger, about 7th grade to about 9th grade, I was seeing this blackish figure in the car of my room by my door. I don't know what
corner,
that means.
Maybe?
Oh, maybe. Okay, yeah. Figure in the corner of my room by my door. I've had supernatural things happen all my life. When I was around 6 years old, I would see this man in a top hat at my old house in Michigan, but that's another story. Anyways, so every night I'd see that figure in the corner by my door. At first, I got scared, but I mean, it never tried to hurt me or moved, so I eventually got used to it. Until I started seeing it while I was awake. Oh god. I know, it sounds crazy. I still don't believe in it sometimes, but one night I was hanging outside my friend's house, and down the street I saw the figure, kind of shaped like a man about 6'5"-ish. That's pretty tall.
Oh my god. Okay, this reminds me of that movie. You know that movie that, like, have you seen that movie? It's like only the person who's sick with the illness can see the, like, thing, like, coming for them.
Is that
It's like,
is that Oculus?
I think it's It Follows or something. It's like the one where you, like, have sex with someone and then you get it.
Oh, that's It Follows.
Yeah, but you're the only one that can see it. Like, that is the vibe this is serving me.
I was thinking more of, like, Slender Man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like, down the street.
Yeah, like, because it's one person. Or, like, Freddy Krueger.
Ew, fuck Freddy. That's scary. I think it's scary.
I do too.
Okay.
Freddy's a creep.
Okay. I didn't think anything about it at first, but after a while I said to my friend, "Hey, that dude has been standing there for a while." And my friend responded with the obvious answer, "What guy?"
What?
And after about 3 minutes of arguing about it, it vanished.
No.
Fast forward a couple of weeks, I was at church and my youth pastor prayed for me. Granted, I never told her about the figure. After her prayer, she tells me that while she was praying, she saw a blackish-figured man, tall, catch on fire, and vanish. And after that, I never saw it again. I still experience sleep paralysis from time to time, but now I don't see anything since I am aware that it's happening. Love you guys. Thanks for reading my story. Oh my gosh.
That is like, okay, all I think about sleep paralysis is there's a demon energy somewhere lurking. You're like, I feel like sleep paralysis makes you, like, susceptible to going into, like, that realm. So you're, like, in the realm with them or something almost. You know what I mean? Like, you're, like, not in your full self.
I totally believe it.
Yeah.
I totally believe it. But yeah, that's all we have for you guys. I do want to mention one thing. There's this blog called Get in the Spirit. They are a newish kind of paranormal blog where they, write a bunch of spooky stuff and stories and games, like spooky games, like Bloody Mary and the Ouija board and stuff like that. She wrote in to us. She didn't really give us a story, but I'm going to read what she wrote. My name is Cece, and I wrote a blog called Get in the Spirit. Since I was just 3 years old and saw my first apparition, the paranormal has been a dominant part of my life. As I got older, the more I saw and heard, the more I was intrigued. Today, I research and give information about haunted locations, possessed objects, and terrifying stories, including my own encounters. And then, yep, that's pretty much it. So we will link
CC.
her blog.
Yeah,
her blog in our post. It's getinthespirit.blog. And so, yeah, that was it, you guys.
1, 2, 3. We'll meet you.
6 feet under.
We tried. Okay.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.